Welcome to Three Phase Motors Part 4 video. In this video, we will be discussing about the necessity of starters in three phase motors or single phase motors also. What is happening? This guy is jumping and initially his speed will be very high, and after some time the speed reduces. What happens? He is opening the parachute and that will be opposing the air. So the air opposition will be increased after some time. Initially, there is no air resistance, so speed is high due to gravity and his weight. With the same gravity and weight, when air is opposing, so the speed is reducing. Similarly, when you are starting the motor, you may be seeing a heavy starting current at the beginning, heavy starting current at beginning, and settling to a rated current at running. And this is known as high starting current of the motor. Okay, and the high starting current will be there if the motor is directly switched on. If the full supply voltage is directly given to the motor, there will be high starting current, and it will be in the range of 6 to 8 times the rated current or full load ampere. FLA means full load ampere. If we are switching on the motor directly to the supply, it will be taking 6 to 8 times the rated or full load amperes rated current. And what are the disadvantages? That will be just firstly discussing what are the disadvantages of high starting. Let it be there. What is the problem? But it is not like that. The high starting current will be creating some problems. It will be overheating the conductors. Why it will be overheating the conductors? When the resistance is there in our stator winding and in the cables, I squared R loss will be very high. I squared R loss will be increased because the I squared R is proportional to square of current. If your current is increased, that means the heat loss that also will be increased. I squared R loss will be coming in the form of heat. That is why the stator winding and the cables will be overheated due to the high current. And if it is continuously happening, if it is started number of times, what happens? The overheating will create the insulation failures. The insulation will be failed in the stator winding itself. The stator winding itself may be having failure of insulation, or the supply cables that also getting insulation failures, and it will be creating problem. It will be reducing the life. That is the reason. It will be reducing the life of your stator winding, supply cables, or switches also will be creating heavy arcing in the high current. So all the life of the installation will be reduced due to the high starting current. And the next problem is poor regulation. Poor regulation, when heavy current is there, the voltage is coming down. You may be noticed, if you are starting a mixie and all in the home, this normal ordinary incandescent lamp, if it is used, it will be reducing, or it is having a dimming at the beginning. If the at the moment of motor starting, it will be reducing the brightness of bulb. Why? Because there is a dip in the voltage. The voltage is momentarily reduced. That is known as poor regulation. Okay, why poor regulation happening? Let us see the supply voltage from the electricity board or a generator. We can say the power is fixed. Okay, the power is fixed, it cannot go beyond that. The power is fixed, and let us say the power factor is less. Already for motor, the power factor will be less at starting, less than 0.5, and the motor will be having better power factor at full load condition only. So the power factor is less, and we can consider that also fixed value at starting. It is a low power factor and a fixed value, as well as the power it is fixed. Now if you are increasing the current, the starting current will be obviously high. The starting current is high, then the only method to reduce the, or to maintain the power, is to reduce the voltage. Automatically the voltage will be reduced. With this supply source having a fixed power and a load power factor is which is fixed, if the current is increasing, the voltage will be reduced, and this is the reason of poor regulation. And if such voltage dipping is there in the system, there will be sensors like relays. Okay, the supply voltage will be monitored by relays, and that relays may be functioning. If the voltage is going down, maybe other machines may be getting trip command. Okay, due to on switching on of one motor, the system voltage is reduced. Because of this system voltage reduction, it may give trip command to other machines. If you are starting a machine, other machines may trip and stop. That is a problem, is it not? So suppose you are working in a hospital or a critical factory where it should be continuously running, and if you are starting a motor, the total system voltage is getting reduced, and it will be disturbing the operation of other machines by reducing due to a reduction voltage for some time. Okay, so these are the disadvantage of high starting current. Now the question is how the starting current is reduced. How, what can you do? By using starters. So that is the requirement of starters, or this is the necessity of starters. To reduce the starting current, we have to use starters in induction motors. We need to use induction motor by starting with starters only. Okay. So what is the main function of starter? It is to reduce the starting current, and also it should be properly able to give protection of overload. If the motor is working normally, there is no problem, but if the machine is overloaded and working for few hours, that will be detected and it will be protected. That we switched off, the machine will be switched off by overload protection provided in the starter. So the second function of starter is to give overload protection. And one more requirement is the under voltage. If the rated voltage is there, there is no issue, but if the voltage is going down, it will be affecting the operation of our machine. So that should be detected. There should be a range of voltage, maybe for a 415 voltage machine, maybe from 280 to 460. This may be the range. If the voltage is going beyond that, the machine should be switched off. Under voltage should be sensed. Under voltage is sensed by the starter. Okay, so the starter is sensing the lower voltage or under voltage, and it will be switched off automatically. So this is the under voltage protection. And there is one more protection, is the no voltage protection. What is no voltage protection? Suppose you are already running a machine, suddenly the power fails, power is switched off, input supply is not there. Now the power is restored after some time. Maybe the power is coming from electricity board or generator. Then the machine should not restart automatically. There may be some applications like compressors and all. Compressors are already having compressed air to initially there is no air compressed, so the motor starts and then air compress. Now if it compressed air and when the supply is failed, what happens? The motor will stop, and again supply is coming back. What happens? The motor already is having compressed air, and that is the load. If that load has to be rotated, it requires very high torque. If high torque is further required, it will take higher current. Okay, so if the motor has to be run with a load, then it may be difficult. So what happens when there is no voltage? When their supply is failed, the motor should not start automatically. The load should be removed or load should be reduced, then only the motor should be restarted. So for that, the no voltage protection is available. When the supply is failed, there is no voltage, then the motor will stop and one person has to switch on again for working. So that is the no voltage protection. Now the question is why the starting current is high in motors. We'll be explaining that. For that, we'll be considering a transformer. We'll be just consider transformer. Let us consider star delta transformer. This is a three-phase set of transformer star delta. Okay, and the secondary you will be able to see here. It is a open circuit transformer. Let us say the transformer is having a secondary with open circuit. So we can say this is only a inductive type of load, a three-phase inductive load. We can say this is a three-phase inductive load, and the low current only it will be taking. Under open circuit, a transformer will take only no load current, and the no load current will be very less for transformer. No load current will be very less for transformer. Now you'll be able to see short circuit secondary. The same transformer is given a short circuit in the secondary. Whenever there is a short circuit, what happens to impedance? The impedance will be becoming low. Whereas there is a short circuit, the impedance will be coming down. Okay, when the impedance is coming down, and if you are giving the rated voltage to the primary, if in induction three-phase transformer, the full supply voltage is given in the short circuit, what happens? High current will flow. Okay, so in a transformer with secondary short circuited, it will be having low impedance, and if you are giving full voltage to the stator or to the primary, it will take a high current. This is about transformer. Now we will be considering the induction motor. So this is the induction motor. It is having a stator in the rotor. It is similar to a transformer. That is the thing we are going to tell. The induction motor is a rotating transformer. Induction motor we can consider as a rotating transformer with a primary of the stator winding. That is the primary of transformer, which is known as stator. It is having three-phase winding. This is the primary, and secondary is the rotor. The rotor is the secondary of the transformer, and the rotor is short circuited. Okay, so we can say a induction motor is a rotating transformer with short circuited secondary, right? So the three-phase induction motor, single phase induction motor we will be considering as a rotating transformer with short circuited secondary. Okay, now it is theory part. There is no supply now given. When the supply is just given, the rotor is not started. What is that? If you are just giving the supply, in the first moment the rotor will not rotate, and that moment we will be telling it as standstill. It is known as standstill. So at standstill it is having very low impedance. In a transformer, when standstill condition, it is having low impedance with a short circuited secondary like a transformer, it will take a very high current. So this is the reason an induction motor is taking high current at standstill condition or at starting. Okay, after starting it is reducing the current. So why the induction motor is having starting current high? It is because it is like a short circuited secondary having a rotating transformer. So if the full voltage is applied, it will take a heavy short circuit current or heavy current. And this is about starting current. The next question will be how the starting current will be, or let us see. So we'll summarize the high current of starting. It is an induction motor with a short circuit secondary with a full voltage applied to the stator and low impedance and low power factor. It is taking high starting current. So this is the theoretical explanation. And next question, how the running current is reduced? The starting current theory we know now, but at running also it is a rotating transformer only. Then how the running current is reduced? That is a question, and we have to answer that. In rotor, when it is rotating, EMF is produced, we know, and it is creating rotor current. When supply is given, EMF will be induced in the rotor starts rotate, a current will be there in the rotor, and rotor will be creating its flux. It is known as rotor flux. And the rotor flux nature will be opposing the main stator flux. Okay, so rotor flux will oppose main stator flux, and thereby it is producing a back EMF in the stator. It is known as back EMF. And because of the back EMF will be opposing the main supply voltage. So effective voltage of circuit will be V minus EB. So the total voltage is reduced, and what happens? The motor current also reduces. So because of the back EMF during the running condition, the motor current is reducing. Now we will be listing the types of AC motor starters. The first is direct online starter. Direct online starter, as the name indicates, there is no current limiting or current. It is not reduced in this type of starters, but the overload protection, no voltage protection, and under voltage protection will be there in the direct online starter. And star data starter is there, and the three types of star data starter are manual, semi-automatic, and automatic. And one more thing is there, it is known as auto transformer starters. All these starters are used for squirrel cage induction motor, SCIM. And one more type of starter is rotor resistance starter. It is known as slip ring induction motor starter, rotor resistance starter. And the new type of technologies, it is soft starters. Soft starters. What is soft starter? It is developed with the help of power electronics, and it is having additional features. It is not only for reducing the starting current, number of additional features there will be studying in a separate video. Soft starters and drives, which is the latest technology for driving induction motors.